This is the second workshop, and I'm just alerting you that we have a table or an agenda for the different kinds of workshops, and the dates are fixed now. In the first part, we talked about cybersecurity more than information as such, but today we will be talking about the infrastructure. On the We have on my right Dr. Mahmoud Osman, and I'm happy that you are here. He is the supervisor of the Central Department for National Projects. Previously, he was the manager of information system in PepsiCo, and he has vast experience, and he has PhD from information technology from Ain Shams University, and he has a BSc of engineering communication in Cairo University, and here we have the Ministry of Communication. On the right is the Ministry of Communication, and on the left, Dr. Ihab El Hagar, who is a regional director of DAM Information Technology Company, and he has a lot of experience in big companies in IT like Microsoft, Cisco, HP, etc., etc. And he has a master's in business administration in Australia, and also from Swisra, and he has a PhD of applied researches from Swisra, and he is also from Helwan University. His BSc is from Helwan University. So I'm really happy that you are here with us today in the same system that we have followed. It's 15 minutes exactly, your presentation, and then you will be focusing on the achievements, not the achievements, but the initiatives of the government in this field. In the name of God, in the previous session was really a bit hard or a bit aggressive, if I may say, but for this one there is a lot of positive aspects about the efforts done by the government in the digitization, and I will display or present some parts that the Ministry of Communication is involved in it. So I have only selected to highlight the role of the government in each sector, so that there will be an overview of the government or the initiatives done by the government. There is a strategy for the communication sector represented by the Information Technology and Communication Ministry, and they are based on 9 different pillars. Each one has different programs and initiatives. As you can see, there is a how to start an environment to attract investment, and how to deepen or to widen the different sectors, and also innovation, investment and opening new markets, community development, development of post-service, and financial inclusion. I will focus on 2 pillars. The first one is how to develop the infrastructure of communication, and then how to go into digitization. In each pillar there are many programs and initiatives, and we will talk about it in details. But in the part of developing the infrastructure of communication, we have 4 different initiatives. The first is to go from the 4th generation to 5th generation, and then also increase the efficiency of land networks, and increase the minimum of the internet speed, and also complete the coverage of coverage, and also this is in the pillar of development of the infrastructure. And also in the pillar of going into the digital community, there should be integration in the national databases, and how to develop also the linking system between the different government agencies. Maybe if we go into the development of the infrastructure of communication, the first one is how to develop the 5G internet or network, and also develop it or turn it into optic fibers, and supporting all the Egyptian companies with optic fibers, and the establishment of different loading plants for marine cables, and also the different land paths that links between the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, in order to maintain the competitive status of Egypt as the hub between Asia and Europe, and also to provide the different system, and then covering all the road networks. And we have another initiative that any new city to be established will be a smart city. Also, we will be launching the internet public Wi-Fi services, and also the internet services through satellite through to the remote areas, because it's a necessity of of digitization, because we need to have an infrastructure or broadband. We should have access to technology, and we should have people who are using the broadband that's available. So it's not enough to have availability, but we should facilitate it for people to use the internet and the broadband that's available, because it's one of the criteria where that's how we can measure the development of a certain community. So in order to implement such initiatives, we will we will uh, we will put the fifth generation to tender, and also the optic fibers, and then we will extend the optic fibers to the end user, because as you can see that in the streets there are some cabins that are being installed to replace all the system with a fiber system, because anyone who wants a fiber connection inside his home, it will be very easy to get a fiber or an optic fiber, because the internet will be more than 100 mega inside the house. And also we have to reach all the houses inside the Egyptian community, and to expand the optic fibers in order to reach 80,000 kilometers instead of 58 linear ones now. And also we will establish three plants for the marine cables instead of. And also we have to expand the use of marine cables in order to be 17. Now we are having only 13, so that we need to increase it now by 4. And we have also Egyptian investments, in order to link Egypt to Europe. So will be the proceeds or the revenue of such a initiative? We have to complete the optic fibers from 35,000 kilometers to 90,000 kilometers, so that it will be doubling the speed. And we have also to connect the land connections to 23 million houses. And also we will expand the linking of Egyptian companies in order to maintain Egypt's position in the competitive status. And we have to increase also the international internet movement, in order to be 10 terabytes instead of 1.5 terabytes. That will be 8 times. And also we will cover 78 national roads instead of 33 covered roads now, with a length of 7,800 kilometers instead of the current 2,300 kilometers. So what will be the revenue? It will give us direct labor, 100,000 job opportunity, and other indirect opportunities, and the revenue will be $10 billion. And then we will have 17 marine cables and 8 loading stations, and this will raise the rank of Egypt in the competitiveness to a better rating. And this is for the development of the infrastructure of communication or telecommunication. And now we have also the movement towards the digital economy. The main objectives is to have a government that's paperless and connected to a main system, which will facilitate electronic control, and it will have also a transparent government, and also have to be able to combat corruption, and also allowing social protection services to the citizens, and increase the users, and also increase the level of services provided to the citizens or investors. As for the implementation mechanism, we are building a complete technology system and provide better systems to the citizens through increasing the facilitation of data exchange or information exchange, and also we will finish the integration of databases, and also deal with the private sector through the PPP system in order to reach the best solutions at the highest rate and find it and make it in a secure way in order to be to make the other government sectors satisfied. So, and what are the social and economic indicators of this pillar? This will decrease the time required for getting a service of government and make it reach to the average time in other countries, and also increase the level of provision of services to the citizens, which will lead to the satisfaction of citizens. And also this will also raise Egypt's ranking in competitiveness and corruption, combating corruption and education and health. The proceeds of this pillar will provide 5,000 direct work opportunities and 10,000 indirect work opportunity, and also eradicating 50% of the pollution cases, and also decrease the subsidy invoice. And you have seen for the Ministry of Supply, you have seen wave 1 and wave 2 in trying to marginalize or reduce the number of those who get subsidy, and this is one of the achievements of transferring into digital economy. Now we have a database that has all those related to citizens, and this supports decision making so that we can make decisions who will be a beneficiary or who deserve the subsidy, so that we make sure that the subsidy reaches the real beneficiaries, and we didn't have this before. We also have, I can also explain to you some of the programs and initiatives. I will not be able to present them all, but I will tell you about some of the sectors that we can cover. We have some initiatives in the health system, and we have also some in the digital content, and also in how to use intensive data in analysis and follow-up and decision making. And also we have other initiatives in increasing the efficiency of the government in social protection and in justice, and also improving the education system, and also in communication with the citizens. We will shed some light on some of the initiatives because time will not allow us to review all of these initiatives in details. So please allow me to focus on some of the scorecard initiatives. So in the use of intensive data in analysis, follow-up, and decision making, we have the census of each of population. This is one of the initiatives to be used in that makes use of an intensive data, because the Egypt census is very important, and it indicates the importance of the use of data and allowing accurate data and detailed data on population in different firms and different institutions, and this gives a good information picture about Egypt and its resources. So the achievements done within these initiatives include that we were able to compile or survey 16,000 buildings, 26 million households, and then also a spatial database that's on undocumented maps, and 180 million record of data, and we were able to distribute 46 spatial number on units and firms, and all of this data for firms, institutions, and individuals, whether the individuals are like the marital data, like marriage, kids, education, all of this has been surveyed, and all this project has been completed, and it was linked to a very accurate database or detailed database on firms and population. And now we have a good picture of the population structure of Egypt, and this is one of the projects that's very important that's done by the ministry. Also we have the project of unifying the database at the information center of the Ministry of Antiquities, and this is like to unify and consolidate the data at the Ministry of Antiquities in order to facilitate the management of data and facilitate decision making, and with the optimum use of all the resources, and providing a good picture 360 grade on the different antiquities and all the establishments built around it, and 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 we were able to unify all such databases, and it has reached 510 antiquities and 480,000 monuments. And then part of them are Islamic, and also parts some are in the museum, and and we were able to extract all the relevant reports in order to get a good picture on all the monuments. and and the project has given us reports or complete database on all the different monuments, so that we were able to help those who are interested in monuments and tourists. And we were also to we were able to market the Egyptian monuments and enrich the information of all those who are interested in Egyptian monuments. As regards the pillars of making the electronic services available, and making it available for anyone at any time, we have a project for the automation of the GAFI. So I will try to sum up quickly or shed lights on some of the projects. And this project aims at having automation at the services provided by GAFI. And this was a very good model because there was no kind of cooperation. It was paperless and cashless. And the president opened opened this project recently, and anything that you want to deal with GAFI was through the eCash, and so that you will not be able to it's all paperless. You will not have to submit documents. All will be through the portal, and the result was a very good database on the investors and the beneficiaries to be linked to the integrated Egyptian database to give you a good picture of the investment climate in Egypt. Also, we did a development for the real estate finance fund, and this aims at to achieving who are the the people who deserve the subsidy, the real estate subsidy, and it has achieved good results. We had 100,000 registration case, and also the advance payment was done by the post services, and also the provision of subsidy was done through the portal. In the field of electronic justice, we have presented the system of law enforcement, and it served the public prosecutions and the Ministry of Interior and the different courts at all levels, and it included Alexandria and North Giza governorates, and there 250,000 legal cases have been automated, and the service have been provided through the electronic portal with the interaction between the courts and the prosecutions. The result of this project is to build a very accurate database on the prosecutions and department and the courts of law and all the cases, and also a criminal database to provide to get a good picture on the criminal records in order to reach the effective justice and increase the ability to enforce law. And also the development of an constitutional court. We have a project for developing the information system of the presidency, and also we have a project for for the health care at the expenses of the government, and also to facilitate the system of having the citizens getting a good service and follow up the decisions, and making sure that there is no multiple payment for the same citizen in order to protect the government's resources, and to make sure that the subsidy reach the beneficiaries. There is also a project for comprehensive insurance, health insurance, and we are working on it. And we will automate Port Said as a business model in order to be transferred into a smart city, and this project will be opened very shortly. And also in the development of the educational services system and the Egypt government portals, we have different portals for all entities like education and like the cabinet and health and social solidarity. All these projects will be serving the digitization of the economy. And also we have another project that we are working on, which is called the G Cloud or the government cloud. This project, we are trying to transfer all the government entities to be able to work centralized from one place, so that we can where we can provide all kinds of services and focus the capex, so that the service will be done from inside the ministry, so that through a service, so that, and not so it will not be purchasing hardware or assets, and we will be focusing three main pillars for the projects and for the digitization. The first one is technology, and the second one is the process, and then the people. So this triangle, we are always focusing on this triangle, so that before maybe people used to focus on technology, but they always forget that people or the human power are the people are the ones who get the service. So now all the projects are focusing on this triangle: people, process, and technology. And maybe in other projects I was unable to talk about, we have national projects like a giant database center or information center, where we put all the data of the government. And also we have other data centers, and we have the administrative capital, where we provide all the infrastructure, and we have the knowledge city inside the administrative capital. This is just a quick overview of on all the projects. So we will have detailed sessions later on about this, so that we will have a chance, especially this one. We will talk about it later in details.
Thank you so much for this presentation, especially on physical infrastructure or infrastructure in general. And we will refer to the health theme or the health sector later.